Hello and welcome to my new CD called Full Steam Ahead, which is a companion CD to Mechanica and to Nautica. And in this third one, we look at trains, steam engines, engines and tractors. So let me just run you through what you can find on the CD. Now, trains are one of those things which I think you'll find are great for men's cards. As we can see on the CD, on the first panel here, we've got steam trains, engines and tractors. We've also got our backing papers, the Topper Creator, which has got all the lovely images in there, and we've got our envelopes, a video tutorial showing you how to use the Topper Creator, and we've got a help menu as well, a simple help menu. And top right, last but not least, there's updates and downloads. If there's anything extra for the CD, you'll find it in there, but you will need an internet connection. Okay, let me dive straight on in and we'll go to the train section. So with these CDs, as you are probably well aware now, all we do, simply click on. And that brings up our menu here. And from this menu, we can access all the lovely images on the CD. So the first one is trains. And the second one, as we'll see in a moment, has trains, but also steam engines and steam tractors as well. Though, here we go, little steam tractor here. Okie dokie, so let's just click on one at random. There's lots to choose from, and we can see that what we get is what I call my A5 card and an A6, and in this particular one we've got the decoupage. So if you want to, you could just print this out. Now, because it's mechanical, one sort of design tip, it might be nice to perhaps print this on card, cut it out, matte and layer it onto one of the lovely backing papers, and then print this section out with glossy paper, so that you've got that lovely sort of mechanical feel against a more matte background, or simply print it all out onto a photo paper. But that, as they say, is just a serving suggestion. Now, if I click onto the A6 card, we'll see we get the smaller images here as well. Now, I've called this A5 and A6, referring to what the folded size of the card will look like. But there's nothing to stop you using the smaller images on a bigger card. So you may want to do several of these little ones on a bigger card. It really is up to you, and I find it's quite nice to mix and match. We could have a larger train and two small ones. You will know with your own crafting skills what you want to do, but that again is just one of my sort of serving suggestions. So where possible, what I've done is given you the decoupage, as we can see, to work with. On some of the more complicated images like this, what I've done is done what I call the stackupage. So you'll get 5 sections. So the first one, and then this one, you just cut it and pop the remaining ones on. And in this instance, we then get the other part on this page, part 2, and then the other images here, which make up an A6 square card on there for you. Okay, so really lots to choose from. There's some lovely trains here. I must admit, I'm not a train buff, but I love trains. I love all things steam, and I did love playing with my kids' train sets. So it's something I must admit I'm quite fond of. And again, we've got the different size cards here. And on this particular one, we've just snuck in a steam tractor. And as you can see, again, the remaining decoupage set sits there, and then the smaller ones here. But, as I said again and repeat, you don't have to use the A6 on an A6 card. You could mix and match. So you're going to get all these lovely trains on your CD here, and where it's too complicated, this with all the lovely steam, you really couldn't decoupage it. What I've done, as I said, is done the stackupage like this, and that gives you then the opportunity of making a lovely card if you want to. That said, if you're feeling brave and you want to just print it out twice and perhaps cut some of the detail out here, there's nothing to stop you doing it. But where I thought I really couldn't turn it into a proper decoupage, I've done what I call the stackupage, which is really nice and easy to cut out. And to be honest, I think it looks pretty effective too. Okay, so that's section 1, section 2 here. Again, more trains, and we've now got some steam engines as well on here, so just show you some of the images here. I've put 2 up because then you can, if you're going to print it out, you're not wasting your paper, as it were, and so you can just print those 2 images out, and the same on the A6. There's just giving you lots to work with there, so you've got them for future reference. This is a lovely one, got Flying Scotsman, the Mallard, all lined up beautifully there. That's quite a nice shot. It's a nice picture to work from. And again, just a range of different trains. With this one, I've just done it as a stackupage, but looking at it, you could probably just print it twice and chip it out and do a decoupage if you want to. Now on this one, we've got some steam tractors. Here we've got some rusty old one here. We've got some in nice condition as well. And just while we're talking about rusty old things, in one of my CDs, Goes West, I did a rusty old car, and Barry, my lovely card maker, put I think it said from one old wreck to another. So many of you loved that card that I decided that we'd keep up the theme, and I'll put another rusty old train, so you can have one rusty old wreck to another if you want to as well. I just sometimes quite like this, if you're heading on into retirement or something, if you want to be a bit tongue-in-cheek. So you will find a couple of rusty old trains in here as well. I just thought it lent itself to it. We've also got the steam tractors. Let me just click onto one here. Again, for you, a lovely decoupage for you. Beautiful, beautiful looking steam tractor that would have been used probably in the Victorian times on the farms to power machinery, as well as this was self-powered as well, so it would drive to the field. Okay, and A5 and A6 again on there. And we also have a steam roller. Again, we used to see those on the roads, flattening our roads for us. And also some static engines as well. I'm, as I said, a bit of a steam buff. I'm lucky enough to live near a steam museum, and I do like the quirky old engines and bits and pieces like this. So you've got a lovely sort of variety for cards as well if you want to. And again, some classic old steam engines there, steam trains actually. The engine is static. There you go, it's a little thing for you. That's actually a steam engine. It's static, it doesn't drive or move anywhere, whereas a steam engine, a steam train rather, see, I'm getting it wrong, moves. There we go, just sort of picks you up on that. So lots of lovely images. I've put some nice black and white ones in as well. I really like working with black and white as well. So those are the images that we've got here on the CD, and there are loads and loads. I think you'll find you've got lots of to work with there. And now just moving on, we've got our backing papers, and again, if I just show you here, we can see I like to matte and layer. I'm sure many of you do as well. So we've got the full colour of the paper, and then we've got it in its tinted form as well. And on this one, I've just done some generic papers that I think will work quite well, that you could use either landscape or portrait for your trains and popping your images on, through to just textures, some lovely sort of steel textures and riveting. And of course you can use, if you've got your Mechanica CD and your Nautica, there's papers on there as well that you could pull in. But everything on here is obviously going to be a little bit different. Similar in some ways, but different papers from the other CDs. And again, this one you could use either landscape or portrait. An old brick wall, that was a lot of sheds and outbuildings to do with trains, and I rather like the texture of that. And that was actually taken from an old railway. So I just thought a little bit of authenticity. Rusty metals, as I said, I have a thing about that. Rusty old trains, I don't know. These are old train tracks, and train tracks again here. So it kind of matches, and some cogs and gears and wheels to work with as well. So a nice selection. Bits of old watch, timekeeping. I always used to think with the train, the station master looking at his watch. And again, you've got some lovely images in Mechanica to work with on that. And we do some nice dies as well. Got a lovely pocket watch for you there as well. And of course, if I just go on to the papers here, now yours might show up with 2 blue boxes. I've clicked it off on mine, but you can click on to type in and get something either landscape or portrait there if you want to, as an insert for A5. If you want to go to A6, you just need to reduce it down, fiddle about with that. Okay. And we've also got our envelopes and boxes, standard fare. You can create a range of different envelopes here, and boxes to go with your cards, boxes and bags, which usually work out quite nicely to go with it. Video tutorial. This will show you how to use the graphics. I call it a topper creator, but it's more than that. I realise you can make backing papers and all sorts with it. But there's a little movie in here. If that will play, it might not work on your Macs, in which case you'll need the internet, and click onto here and you'll get it. If you've obviously have an internet connection, you can pop it on there. If not, try it on, have a go first. It's a standard movie, and it should work. Either way, you'll get one of them up and running, and that will work for you on that. And so what we've got to do now, just before I go on, we've got the help menu here as well, access from the main page, just some general bits and pieces if you have any problems. And what I'd like to do now is just go on to the Topper Creator. We go into, now this is going into another graphics package. It's going into kind of another file stroke folder, which is separate from the one you've got to. Now in the old days you had to then you'd end up with two windows, but you now actually have a return button, Wonders of Science, which will bring you back to the main page, to the starting page. But if I click on again, we're back into this program. So that's a nice new feature that I've added. So how does this work? Well, if you watch the video, you'll see. But in essence, what we're going to do is just, you can create toppers to use on the cards, but you can also make full backing papers. And we simply click onto it and then go Control C to copy it, or up to Edit and Copy. Then click onto a graphics page and we paste it down. Here I'm going to go Control V. If it doesn't paste automatically, remember, just click onto something just to tell the page that it's ready to accept some graphics, either the text here, or there's always a little hidden button top left as well. Now these images look small, but they're actually full-size graphics shrunk down just as a guide on your page. So if you see now, we could actually make a full-size piece of paper if we wanted to work with. You could make your own backing paper, or as I said, we could just shoot it down and we could make a little topper there. So if I return now, let's pop a train on there. So we simply click onto it. You see the blue marching ants, as I call them. Control C, Apple C, back to graphics, and all we're doing is copy and pasting. You can see now I'm going to just pop that onto there like so, and I can drop an image on. And also if you click onto it and go to properties, I can actually fade that backing paper. I think maybe that was a bit dark with my train. Click OK, and you can see, so you've got, here we go, a beautiful topper, and it does matte and layer. So just think of it in those terms, and if you go wrong you might have to delete a section and then pop something back on, i.e. if the train was first, then the paper would be on top of it. Honestly, it's so simple to use and it's so versatile. Please take the time to have a little play with it. I think you'll absolutely love it, because now you can design your own cards, you can put all these lovely images on it, and that works here within this particular section. There's some type view as well. Again, all of this is covered in a lot more depth on the video. I just want to sort of whet your appetite and encourage you to have a play with it. And I can click return here, and if I click return, it's going to ask me, do I want to save it? Now I'm going to go no, because I'm actually on my master CD artwork here, and then go back into continue. But you would have the opportunity of saving some of the work you've done, but I've got to warn you that that would actually save as a whole file on your computer as well. That whole Topper Creator, it saves the whole lot rather than an individual page. But that's something you can play around with as well. Okay, so there we go. This is Full Steam Ahead. If you know anyone who loves trains, I think you're going to find that I can absolutely love this. I've concentrated on the British trains, good old British trains, for you here. And any train lover, or anyone that just loves steam or anything evocative of that age, the steam tractors, steam engines, are going to absolutely love the cards that you make for them. Anyway, there we go. Full steam ahead. I hope you enjoy the video and have as much fun making cards with it as I certainly have. Take care, enjoy your crafting. Bye bye.